From Northgate High School in Walnut Creek, it's the game of the week right here on Walnut Creek TV. Hello everybody, I'm Anthony Schultz, and tonight the Broncos get set to take on the Clayton Valley Eagles. And for the Eagles, they were on a bit of a roll. They had won 4 in a row and 4 of their first 5, but since then they've hit a snag, and the big problem, they can't stop the run. That is a huge problem for them because one thing the Broncos do well is run the football. They average better than 200 yards per game. They have 3 players averaging better than 6 yards a carry, and that will be the key matchup in tonight's ball game. So stay tuned. We'll have the opening kickoff coming up right after this.
Parking made easy and convenient.
You're good to go.
Now that was easy.
Hi, welcome to Inside Center Rep.
My name is Carrie Lederer, and I'm the Curator of Exhibitions here at the Bedford Gallery.
Hi there, welcome to Get Lit.
And that's when I decided to run for the city council.
So exciting.
All right, everybody, welcome to Northgate High School. We are just about to start tonight's game. Clayton Valley wearing their travel white with the blue helmets. Northgate in their home black, trimmed in gold with the gold helmets. And Eddie Juarez for the Eagles will get set to kick off. And this ball game from Northgate is underway. Good looking kick by Juarez, taken to the 2-yard line, to the 5, to the 10, 15, across the 20. And down at about the 28-yard line, so 26 yards on the return. And that's where Northgate will take over 1st and 10. So the Broncos operating from their own 28-yard line as we begin the football game. And Northgate coming into tonight's action at 2-5, 1-1 in league. And for Clayton Valley, 0-2 in the Diablo Valley League, but 4-3. Handoff, they're going right side. Nice cut back there, but runs into a host of Eagles. And that was Tavaki there for just a couple of yards. And as we said in the open, the Broncos can run the football. They tried there, but the Eagles were up to the challenge. Short game that time, call it a pair. And I'll bring up 2nd down and 8. Shane Ryan under center for the Northgate Broncos as they try to get things turned around. A good year last season at 9-3, made the playoffs. There's a handoff right up the middle, stopped initially, and then finally thrown back. And that's Haynes with the ball. And just a short gain that time, but a nice second effort as he was met by a couple of Eagles in the backfield, but did fight his way for about a yard gain. So that'll bring up third down. Third down, or you can call it 6 yards for the Broncos. There's Ryan getting some instructions from the sideline. The people who are calling tonight's game, Ron Krupa is the referee, Mike DiMartini the head linesman, Pete Scaretta the line judge, Greg Chappell is the back judge, and Carl Borling is the umpire. Third down, they need the 38. Here's Ryan back to pass, throws over the middle, it's incomplete. His receiver appeared to not turn around. So quarterback and wide receiver not on the same page at that time. And that'll bring up fourth down, so it's 3 and out for Northgate. And the Eagles will have their first chance on offense following this punt. So number 8, Chris O'Connor is dropped back to do the punting for Northgate. Low snap, picks it up, and just does get it off. Short, wobbly kick. And the Eagles are going to be content to let this one bounce it around the 40-yard line. The Broncos will down it at about just inside the Northgate 40. So 3 and out for Northgate as they punt their first time. And now here's Clayton Valley as they start from about their own 39. Clayton Valley, we said they couldn't stop the run or hadn't been stopping the run the last couple of ball games, but first couple of plays they did very well, and they're going to run it themselves here, trying to go right up the middle, but there's the ball carrier just engulfed in a sea of black as the Northgate Broncos able to come up and make that play. Just a couple of yards on that carry for Clayton Valley, and that'll bring up second down. Joe Pelletier in on that tackle for Northgate. They're going to call it a gain of about 2 yards, closer to 3. I'm going to say second down at 7 here for Clayton Valley. Shotgun formation for the Broncos. Man in motion coming to the near side. Snap, handoff, trying to turn it up, hit at the 40, and then just does drag himself back to the 42. That'll be Gomez. And very short gain again. So far, 4 running plays, and both run defense is looking awfully good here to start. So maybe just a little beyond the line of scrimmage on that last carry. So that'll bring up third down and 7 here for Clayton Valley. Here goes a man in motion. Going to give him the football. End around, turn the corner, picks up the first down, and that's Blair Schmidt who gets some room. That's Kelly Dominguez, excuse me, looking at the wrong roster. So Dominguez out around the far side, and he's going to get the first down after about a 14-yard gain into Northgate territory. And they're down to the Bronco 47-yard line. So the first good play of the ball game for either offense, and the Eagles now in business. First and 10 on the Northgate side of the field. Here's Kelly going in motion. They fake it to him this time. And to the other ball carrier going the other way. There's a big gain. Turning the corner. Down the field he goes. Inside the 20 and finally dragged down. Beautiful run that time.
21-yard line after a first down carry.
Yeah, let's take a look at that one. We've got to have a replay on that. Another great play for Clayton Valley. And that was Garrett Sari, and Garrett, a huge gain that time. And they're going to mark him out of bounds at about the 26-yard line. So first and 10 for Clayton. Handoff, Garrett again, caught in the backfield this time. And now we have a flag coming in late. And the first player to get to him defensively is Joe Pelletier. But hold everything, let's check the flag. And we got a face mask, and that's going against Northgate. So the Northgate defense, a good job to get across the line of scrimmage. Had a couple of ball players, including Pelletier, in the backfield. But unfortunately, they grabbed the face mask, and they're going to mark this one off against the Broncos. So So that is the 5-yard variety. They've done away with that in pro football. Remember, they had the 2 versions. They had the big one for 15 if you really grabbed and pulled, and then sort of the 5-yard incidental face mask. But they are doing that still here in high school. So it's 5 free ones there for Clayton Valley. Here's Sorry again, trying to get outside, and picks his way as he picks up a few yards going down on the right side. Leave him a couple of yards short of the first down. Let's call it second down and about 3. So Clayton Valley, talk about in the open, they got off to a good start. They beat Liberty in the opening week, then lost to Antioch, and then won 4 in a row against Vintage, Fremont, Oakmont. And then, following that Oakmont game, they lost a couple in a row to College Park and then to Concord. And Concord, a week ago, really laid into a 42-0 in that ball game. All right, the Eagles here on second down and about 3 yards to go. Operating at about the Northgate 15. Split backs in the backfield. Fake, handoff. You're sorry, he's going to be caught in the backfield again.
No gain on that play as Justin Wise.
And that's number 52, Justin Wise, in on the tackle that time. Justin able to get into the backfield. And the Northgate defense has had no problem really penetrating across that line of scrimmage. But they have given up a couple of big plays here tonight.
15-yard line.
So third down and 3 for Clayton Valley here from the 15. Gomez under center. I think they just took too much time.
Flag on the play.
And that's going to be encroachment on the
Looks like
defense.
offsides against Northgate is the call.
So Northgate, a couple of penalties on this drive. They've given up a couple of big drives.
First down at the 10-yard line.
And that's going to give Clayton Valley a first down for free. So Northgate and head coach Justin Lowell can't be happy with that. So a couple of penalties on the drive, the 5-yard face mask, and now the encroachment here on third down and 3. Well, that'll give Gomez and company a first down here, now operating at the 10-yard line. And in motion. There's Gomez, going to hand off. And they're going to go over the left side and pick up a few yards. And the ball carrier that time, Jesse Madrano, the running back linebacker. And he picks up 5 yards on the play. It'll bring up second down and 5. Second down here for Clayton Valley. Threatening to get the first score of the ball game. They're trying to go to that left side, then caught up the middle. And that's Gomez on the keeper that time. That'll leave him a couple of yards short of the goal line. That'll bring up third down here for Clayton Valley. So another third down upcoming here for the Eagles. Let's see if the Broncos can't get them stopped here and enforce the field goal.
3-yard line of Northgate.
All right, here come the Eagles. Third down and goal from the Northgate 3. As if the Eagles can't punch it in. Split backs behind Gomez. Hand off to Sari, going over the right side. Did he get in? Let's see. I think he's going to be stopped a bit short, but very close here. I would be surprised if Clayton Valley didn't go for this. Now, they do have a fine kicker in Eddie Juarez, a guy who really has got a great leg. I mean, he's actually been involved in some different kind of kicking competitions. He's a guy who makes pretty much every PAT, can make field goals. They have a real place kicking game here, but they're very close. Fourth and goal, going to go for it right over the middle. Let's see if they get in. No signal yet. Let's see. And the officials now unpiling everybody. Still no signal. Trying to get a look at this one, and now they're going to say no. So a defensive stop for Northgate. That was Jesse Madrano on that dive play. but unable to get there. So it's going to be first down going the other way as the Northgate Broncos get a stop on downs. So Northgate will start at their own 1 yard line here with 4:19 to go here in the first quarter. That was a very good drive by the Clayton Valley Eagles, but they come up 1 yard short. They go for it on fourth down, unable to convert. And now let's see what Northgate can do with the football. They were 3 and out their first time. All right, Northgate first down and 10 from their own 1, and they're going to quarterback sneak this one. And Ryan going to pick up some nice yardage as he gets out across the 5-yard line. So Shane Ryan picks up about 4 yards on the play. That was actually a pretty important play just to get out of the shadow of their own goalpost. Just want to get off the goal line that time. So good play by Ryan, a nice surge by the offensive line. And now we'll call it second down at about 6 as they operate from the 5. Ryan under center is going to try another sneak. Able to stay on his feet for a while, then he's going to be wrestled to the ground. And again, Shane not finding a whole lot of room, just trying to get a push from his offensive line and get up behind the big guys to grind out some yardage. That'll bring up third down now. Call it third down and 5. They need just beyond the 10-yard line for a first down. And if you're Northgate and Coach Justin Lowe, you'll certainly don't want to be punting from this area of the field. So even if they were not to build that 99-yard drive, it would be nice just to get out and in a better position to punt, or to get the field position back in your favor at least a little bit. All right, Ryan under center, third down. And it looked like Clayton Valley jumped, and they did. Flags fly. I'm sure that's going to be encroachment against the Eagles and back them up. A couple of penalties on that last drive defensively for Northgate that really helped out Clayton Valley. They had the 3rd and 3 face mask penalty, or 3rd and 3 encroachment penalty that gave the Eagles a first down. They also had a 5-yard face mask penalty. And actually they're going to call false start against Clayton, against Northgate rather. So they're going to be half the distance to the goal line, so we're going back to the 2.5-yard line. So it's about 7.5, close to 8 yards to go here for a first. 2.5, they need to get out beyond the 10. Let's call it third down and 8 here for Shane Ryan of the Northgate Broncos. This is one they have to have. What a punt from here. Ryan back, has time, throws over the middle, and it is going to be, looked like it was knocked away. Intended for Brandon Lee, and it looked like one of the linebackers for Clayton came over across the passing lane, and I believe was able to get a piece of that one. It looked like number 10, Sean Hahn, Mike Prothrow. No, excuse me, it was Sean Hahn, number 10. And you may have gotten a piece of that one. So that will bring up fourth down here in a punting situation here for Northgate, their second of the game. In a crowd, this one kicked out. David Gross with the punt, and this one is going to be fair caught inside the 30-yard line at about the 29 for Clayton Valley. And Clayton Valley started their previous drive from the 39-yard line, went 59 yards, unable to punch it in as they were stopped at the 1-yard line. And Northgate took over from there but could not pick up a first down. Now they punt, and Clayton starts at the Northgate 29-yard line with 2:31 to go here in the quarter. Handoff, flags fly. Clayton wants that left side. There was Garrett Sari on the carry. Not much there. Let's see about the call. Illegal shift against Clayton. So that'll back up the Eagles. So far, offensively for the Eagles, there's a penalty there that's going to back them up. They've got a penalty on defense. Actually, that is going to be declined, and the Broncos are going to take the play. The play was for no gain, maybe even a loss of a yard. So that'll bring up second down, call it 11 here for Gomez. Big shift on the front line. Gomez, handoff. Sorry gets the ball, and Garrett is going to pick up a few yards, and he's going to get down inside the 30-yard line, pick up about 4 yards to the 21, and that'll bring up third down and 7.
Gain of about 4 yards sets up a third down and 8 to go for the Eagles.
So third down and 8 upcoming here for Clayton Valley.
7-yard line.
Third down here. Remember, they do have that excellent kicker. They might try a long one. Back to pass, throws to the end zone, a little bit too long. So that pass is incomplete. Looks like they had that fly pattern down the far side of the field. And Northgate defensively was beaten that time, but the pass a little bit too long by Gomez. Looked like he was looking for Khalid Shillette, number 2, down the field, but couldn't connect. And they are going to try the field goal here. So here's Eddie Juarez. This is going to be from 44 yards away. They're going to spot this one at the 34-yard line. Snap, the hole, the kick is plenty of distance, and it is good. Eddie Juarez, 44 yards away, and the Clayton Valley Eagles draw first blood, and they lead it 3-0 here with 1:24 to go in the first. So Clayton Valley taking over at the Northgate 29-yard line, unable to pick up a first down. But they've got Eddie Juarez, and he is a true weapon. And one of the tougher things in high school football is place kicking. I mean, you got to get the blocking right, the snap, the hold, and the kick. And just most of the time getting all of those things to work at the same time, very difficult. But Eddie Juarez is able to pump that one through here for 3 points. He is really a weapon here for this Clayton Valley Eagles team. You just don't see that a whole lot at the high school level. A guy that can make field goals, particularly make field goals from any distance. I mean, it's hard enough to make PATs, and they line that up at the 3-yard line. All right, so Eddie Juarez getting set to kick off 3-0 in favor of Clayton Valley. 1:24 to go here in the opening quarter. I'm Anthony Schultz. So glad you could be with us tonight right here on Walnut Creek TV. And we're at Northgate High School. It's going to be an onside kick, and let's see, it looked like the Broncos recovered it. And boy, that was a gutsy call. Kirk Pardee going Sean Payton on us here a little bit. Very early in the game, certainly not what you'd call a situation that calls for the onside kick, but trying to catch the Broncos off guard. And instead, Northgate going to have great field position here at their own 49-yard line. So Northgate so far, a pair of punts, no first downs. They started their opening drive from the 28, and then they started one after they got that big defensive stop from their own 1-yard line, but golden opportunity here. Handoff going up the middle, tackle broken, another tackle broken, trying to get it clear, pulls defenders all the way down inside the 40, down to the 37-yard line. And let's take another look at that one. Great looking play by Northgate, their best play of this first quarter. So a run of 13 yards and the first down for Northgate. I formation, handoff, And Tavaki this time is going to be stopped for just a couple of yards. And that'll bring up second down, or make that, second down and about 8 after the 2-yard gain. So Northgate on the move here, and we've got a couple of guys that do a lot of ball carrying for them. Tavaki, Feesy's one of them. Jimmy Sharp coming off an ankle injury, hurt that back in week 2. Hand off to the up man. Now they're going to be a quarterback keeper this time, and that was Shane Ryan after the fake. And then going off to the left side, and Shane's going to be very close to a first down. They're going to leave about a yard or so short, call it a 7-yard gain, and it's going to bring up 3rd down and 1 for the Broncos. So the attempted onside kick by Clayton Valley has pumped some life into this Northgate offense. They picked up 1 first down and now very close to picking up another. Going to call it 3rd down and about 2 at about the 29-yard line of Clayton. Here's Ryan caught in the backfield. That might have been a broken play, but he's going to pick up the first down anyway. Shane Ryan with a nice run, getting inside the 25 down to the 24. He picks up about 6 yards, and that will be a first down, and that will end the quarter. So the Broncos on the move, and after 1 quarter of play, it's the Eagles 3, Northgate nothing.
Exploring downtown Walnut Creek is easy. Stop looking for street parking and park right away in a city garage. Make sure to get your token at the gate.
When you shop downtown, be sure and look for the validation signs. And be sure to get your token validated. Before you return to your car, stop at this pay station and put your token in the slot, and you'll see how much you owe. You could pay with either coins, credit cards, or cash. And your token will come back out down here for your exit.
If you need assistance, just press the intercom button to reach help.
Just drop your token at the exit gate. If you wish to use a credit card to pay for your parking, you may do so here at this time and skip the pay station. Parking made easy and convenient.
Hey, Sue. If you're just making a quick visit downtown and don't need a validation, then you can just do credit card in and credit card out. Just insert your credit card at the gate. You don't need a token since your parking time will be tracked on your credit card. Come downtown, run a quick errand, have a cup of coffee. And when you're ready to leave, just insert the same card. Your card will be charged and you're good to go. That was easy.
This system is installed at all 3 of the city garages: Locust Street Garage, next to the Leisure Center, Broadway Street Garage, and at the South Locust Street Garage between Cypress and Mount Diablo Boulevard. Plus, all city public garages are open 24 hours for your convenience. Parking made easy.
All right, second quarter of action here from Northgate High School in Walnut Creek. Broncos and the Eagles. Here's a handoff. Ryan going to keep it himself, turns the corner, upended in the backfield. Ryan going to pick up about 4 or 5 yards. Nice looking tackle that time by Clayton Valley as they come up and they are able to upend Ryan before he can really get a big start, able to pick up a couple of yards. And it's about a 5-yard gain for Shane Ryan, and that'll bring up second down and 5. So the Broncos on the move, the Eagles with the lead at 3-0. And Ryan over getting some instructions from the Brain Trust, now back onto the field. And here are the Broncos trying to make something out of this attempted onside kick. I formation behind Ryan, pitch back to the tailback, trying to turn that short corner and then engulfed in white jerseys. Yeah, let's take another look.
Number 33 in on the stop for the Eagles, Christian Pedraza.
Christian Pedraza, number 33, came up to make the stop for Clayton Valley. About a 4-yard gain, and that'll bring it down to about 3rd down and 1 for a first down for Northgate. Operating for about their own 16, or the Clayton Valley 16-yard line. And now whistles blowing this play dead. Timeout Northgate as they want to talk it over. So the Broncos trying to turn the attempted onside kick into a touchdown here. Started from their own 49-yard line, now operating from about the 16. Very interesting call by Herc Pardee, and I'll tell you that tells me that he's got some belief in his defense. Able to go ahead and do that. You know, you figure if you don't get it, obviously your opponent's going to get great field position, and the Broncos certainly did. And I think from the point of view of Herc Pardee, he figures, well, I got a good chance to get this. It's not a time where they're expecting an onside kick. And if we don't get it, if the Broncos come up with it with that good field position, I believe in my defense. I think they can stop them. All right, following the timeout, now 3rd down and 1. Clayton defense trying to dig in. I formation for Northgate. Eddie Juarez, number 13, is the tailback. He gets the call over the right side. He's got the first down and more. Eddie Juarez inside the 10, down toward the 5-yard line. And that is a pickup of 11 yards and a first down for the Broncos. They move the chains again. First down and goal for Northgate. Excuse me, I think that might have been Joe Pelletier, number 18. Oh, pardon me. I'm looking at the wrong roster. Excuse me. Eric Haynes, the ball carrier. And now Eric Haynes, the Broncos going over for a touchdown. Touchdown, Northgate. So the Broncos taking it over from the 5-yard line. And just like that, they have taken the lead. So they recover the onside kick. And they go 51 yards for a touchdown. And they go over from the 5-yard line. And now they'll line up for the PAT, 6-3, pending the extra point. So here's David Gross to try to make it 7. Snap a little high. It's put down. The kick is up. The kick is good. And David Gross's extra point makes it 7-3 in favor of Northgate. And let's take a look at that last play. Northgate going over from the 5. And a great drive by Northgate. And boy, they were really shut down in those first 2 drives. And the second one, when the Broncos started from the 1, really just trying to get it away from their own goal line, but could not pick up a first down. And they went 3 and out on their first drive, but that onside kick looked like it really rejuvenated, really pumped up this Bronco offense. And they're able to take it in from 51 yards out, and they have their first lead of the ball game at 7-3. All right, Gross set to kick off for the Broncos, and David Gross, like his counterpart Eddie Juarez, a good leg, and guys that can make extra points and field goals. And it's going to be a pooch kick coming here to about the 30. Taken there, 33, 34-yard line. So about a 4-yard return by Christian Pedraza, the wide receiver and defensive back. And that's where Clayton will take over, 1st and 10. And let's take a look at that kickoff. All right, here's Mateo Gomez and company, operating 1st and 10 from their own 34-yard line. And Mateo injured his hamstring early in the season and missed some action. Here's a handoff Sorry, going around the right side, able to turn the corner, breaks a tackle, down the sideline he goes, 50, 40, breaks a tackle, 30, 20, he's going all the way, touchdown Clayton Valley. And actually they're going to mark him out of bounds on the far side of the field. So Garrett Sorry looked like he had a touchdown going all the way. It would have been a 66-yard TD. Instead, they're going to mark him down at the 39-yard line. So 27 yards on the carry. So pretty good gain by Garrett nonetheless, but it looked like he had the touchdown to give Clayton Valley the lead. All right, Mateo. They try to go up the middle. Ball carrier spun down right at about the 40-yard line, so they may have lost a yard or a half a yard on that last carry. And it looked like they did, and he's back to the 40-yard line. Going to call it second down and 11 this time. So Mateo had a hamstring injury earlier in the season. He was replaced by sophomore Mike Prothrow, who was the inside linebacker. And he led the team to 4 victories, and both guys shared duties at quarterback last week against Concord. But Mateo getting the start here tonight. One handoff, a fake, back to pass, a little dump off. And he's got a man completed over there on the far side of the field. That's going to be very close to a first down. Almost a jump pass that time by Mateo Gomez. And it looks like Ricky Montoya there on the catch, and Ricky's going to be about 2 yards short of the first down, so he picks up 9 yards on the catch and run. It'll bring up third down and 2 at about the 31-yard line of Northgate. Mateo, a fake. Now gives off to the right side. And that is going to be a first down for Clayton Valley. Gain of about 7 yards. So Clayton Valley on the march here, trying to reclaim the lead and make it a seesaw affair here in this first half. So a lot of youth on this Clayton Valley side as they break huddle here inside the Northgate 25. First down and 10. Mateo, hands off. Sorry, caught in the backfield, and I was able to get around the right side and make a nice gain of it. So Garrett with a nice pickup that time. Nothing there going up the middle. Bounced to the outside, able to turn the corner. And he's going to get down to about the 22-yard line, and let's see a replay. So only a 3-yard gain that time by Garrett. It looked like he picked up a few more, but evidently stepped out of bounds a little sooner than I thought. But still, there was nothing going on up the middle, and he was able to bounce it outside. Now, timeout for Clayton Valley as they want to talk it over with 8:50 to go. The clock's still running. They'll get that corrected here and add some more time. Still waving here up here at the booth to try to get him to stop the clock. And this field has been here for a while. They put in the new turf a couple of years ago, but just this season they've added this whole press box and the booth up here. The place looks beautiful on a gorgeous night here in Walnut Creek. Northgate High School got a great baseball facility just adjacent here to the football field. But boy, with the press box, it really does dress the place up. It's got more of a stadium feel to it now rather than just a field. So we talked about the youth on the side of Clayton Valley. They had to replace 18 starting positions from a year ago. They've got 17 combination juniors and sophomores playing. So a lot of guys who haven't taken a lot of varsity snaps, especially up front on the offensive line and the defense front seven. They returned only one starter from a year ago. That was Saldi Santos. And Saldi, he missed some time with an injury. So they've had some injuries. They've battled the flu. They were really young. In the previous 3 years for Coach Hurd-Party, that certainly was not the problem. They were relatively healthy throughout all 3 seasons. And a team that's had quite a bit of success during the Party tenure. All right, here's Gomez back to pass. With time, throws, and the ball in and out of the hands of the intended receiver. And that's incomplete. That'll bring up 3rd down and 7. So a big 3rd down upcoming here for Clayton Valley, but remember, field goals are certainly well within the reach of Eddie Juarez. Carlson able to break up that last pass. 3rd down and 7. Clayton Valley operating from the Northgate 22-yard line. Gomez, shotgun formation. Sorry, flank to his left. Looking, throwing the fade pattern, far side, near side of the field, and it's going to be incomplete. A little bit of contact down there, but no flag thrown. And that pass looked like it was intended for Jesse Medrano. And it looked like they were running that little fade pattern, and Medrano had one-on-one coverage, but they couldn't come up with it. And let's take another look. All right, you can see the one-on-one coverage, and Medrano in good position. And Mateo, the right decision, throwing into that one-on-one coverage. So here's now a field goal. This will be from 39 yards out as they spot the ball at 29. Snap, the kick by Gomez is up. The kick is good. Pardon me, I said Gomez, I meant Eddie Juarez from 39 yards away, and he is 2 for 2 on the night with field goals, and now it is 7-6 in favor of Northgate. So Eddie Juarez from 44 yards away, from 39 yards away. The Broncos have a 5-yard touchdown run. And that's where we stand, 7-6. Good ball game here from Walnut Creek. So first couple of drives for Northgate, a couple of punts. Clayton Valley went 58 yards on their opening drive, only to be stopped on downs at the 1-yard line of the Broncos. But Clayton Valley has a couple of Juarez field goals. And on the one drive that went 51 yards following the onside kick, the Broncos able to cash that one in for 7. All right, here's Juarez's kickoff. High end-over-end kick, and this one is going to bounce at the goal line and just go into the end zone. Eddie Juarez, a touchback king here. I see a lot of those, and boy, you don't see many of those in high school football, but you do when you're watching the Clayton Valley Eagles play. So good field position for the defense here for Clayton Valley, provided by their wonderful kicker, Eddie Juarez. The Broncos will start 1st and 10 at the 20. .8:31 to go here in the opening half here from Northgate. Shane Ryan under center, man in motion coming to the near side. Handoff right up the middle. And Eric Haynes is going to pick up a couple of yards. So a short gain that time. They're going to call it just a yard gain and pick up 2nd down and 9. So a couple of decent runs here for Haynes. They had that 5-yard touchdown run. And Shane Ryan has made a couple of nice runs himself, but for the most part, the problems with the run defense have not materialized so far here for Clayton Valley, but still a long way to go. And really, in their last couple of games against Concord and College Park, it was really the second half of those games where they struggled. Here's a little pass out to the sideline, and quickly smothered on the receiver is the Northgate defense. And let's take a look at that big hit. That ball was caught by number 12, Charlie Blazer. No, pardon me, Jimmy Sharp, number 12, making the catch out on the sideline, not able to get very far. He picks up about 3 yards on the play and then was really hammered for all his efforts. 3rd down and 7 for the Broncos from the 23-yard line. Back to pass, Ryan throws, has got a receiver, it's Jimmy Sharp. Caught from behind, but Jimmy's going to pick up a 1st down, and now the ball was loose. Now they're going to whistle it dead. Let's see. Like Jimmy Sharp had the first down. Clayton Valley thought they had a strip, a fumble, and a fumble recovery. But it's going to be instead a Bronco first down out across the 30 to about the 33-yard line. So a 10-yard catch and run for Jimmy Sharp. And that'll be first down for the Northgate Broncos. Big first down there as they try to get the field position back in their favor and see if they can't tack on some more points. Let's take a look at that last play. First down and 10 for Northgate. They're going to run the football up the middle they go. A couple of yards there, and now a flag coming in at the end of that play. So let's check the laundry here and see what happened. Ball got out across the 35 to about the 36, but it's going to be a hold against Northgate. This will be a spot of the foul play, so they will be credited with a few yards gained, but the offense will now be penalized and move back 10 yards from the spot of the foul. They're now going to be down just the nose of the football, just on the 25-yard line. So this is going to bring up a long yardage situation, making it first down and 17. So on that, the ball carrier would be credited with the 3 yards. But then the holding moves it back, so it's going to be first and long here for Northgate. They need to get to about their own 42 for a first. First down still for the Broncos. Ryan fakes the pitch, under pressure, throws. He's got Jimmy Sharp, and Sharp is going to be held up and finally tackled out of past the 30-yard line to about the 32. Jimmy able to stay on his feet despite being held by Broderick Villamar, the defensive back who came up to make the stop, and Villamar grabbed the ankle and held on. And I'll take another look at that one. And this one gets out to the 33-yard line, back to the original line of scrimmage, maybe just beyond. We'll call it second down and 9, so about an 8-yard pickup on the play. Ryan fakes it one way. Now Shane's going to pitch it. Off left, fumble. The ball is loose. It's Savaki on the fumble, and who got it? Clayton says they do. And the officials say the same thing. So it's a Bronco fumble, and Clayton recovers, and the Eagles are in business. And let's take a look at the turnover now. That puts the Clayton Valley Eagles in great shape here at the 34-yard line of Northgate. Mateo, and he's going to hand to Sari, who's caught in the backfield. He's going to lose a couple of yards. Good looking play by the Bronco defense following the fumble. Able to make the stop. They're going to mark forward progress back up to about the 36-yard line. So it'll be a 2-yard loss on the play. Nice play by that Bronco defense, something they really have to have here. They really can't let the Eagles get any closer, or they almost have a sure field goal with Juarez. All right, Gomez under center. Second down, hands it off again, and again the Bronco defense in there to stack it up. So the Bronco defense on back-to-back plays coming up huge here, stopping the run, and that's going to be a loss of a couple more. So it's minus 4 yards on the last couple of plays. I think even minus 5. They're going to call it third down and 15 now. The ball pushed all the way back to about the 38-yard line of Northgate. You'd figure the Clayton Valley would pass here to try to at least get some closer, pick a field goal. Gomez under pressure, and down he goes! And that'll take them out of field goal range. So that Northgate defense comes up with 3 huge plays in a row. Couple of plays on the run to get a stop, and now a huge sack for a loss. And take another look at that one as they push them all the way back outside the 45, back to the 46-yard line, and this time Clayton Valley is going to have to punt the football. So Northgate all fired up coming off the field and looking really good on defense, and they really had to have it there. After the fumble, Northgate took over on the 34-yard line, and now the line of scrimmage is the 46-yard line. So minus 12 on that series for Clayton Valley, and this punt is going to drop. And that's the old grenade play as the return team just gets away from it. Everybody yells grenade, just run away. And that one will stop at the 17-yard line where Northgate will take over. So following the fumble by the Broncos, the defense, 3 straight plays, minus 12 yards for Clayton Valley, and Northgate has the ball back with 3:12 to go. The Broncos continue to lead the Eagles 7-6. All right, man in motion. Ryan going to give it to him. It's Tavaki trying this near side. There's going to be a penalty. Breaks, tackles, and then he is smashed to the ground that time. And Jesse Madrano coming up and providing a huge hit right into the back. Fisi Tavaki, he really got nailed that time. But before all that, there was a flag. Looked like in the backfield, and usually that would indicate holding against the offense, and it is. So that will back up the Northgate Broncos. And actually 2 holds on the play. Unfortunately for Clayton Valley, they could only take 1 of them. But in any event, that's going to be from the spot of the foul. So this is going to be a huge loss for the Broncos, and they're really in tough shape offensively here. Remember, the original line of scrimmage was the 17. And now they're marking this inside the 10-yard line, down at about the 8-yard line. So they end up losing, let's see, only 9 yards. Well, let's see. The original line of scrimmage was the 17. Now they're marked them back at the 7, so that will be 10 yards. They look like they're almost at the 8-yard line, but let's call it the 7. So the 10-yard penalty sets them back, and now they're going to run up the middle. Short gain that time. And that's Fisi again, but just a couple of yards for Tavaki that time. And Northgate in a little trouble here. They certainly don't want to give good field position again to these Broncos. Still plenty of time. And, of course, with the leg of Juarez, they can strike from far away. They'll bring up second down. Second down to 14 for Northgate. Going to pitch, go up the middle. Nice gain that time. And that is going to be on the carry, Aaron Kamash. And Kamash able to pick up some pretty decent yardage that time. Let's see where they spot this. They're going to mark him down to the 23-yard line. Needs to get out across the 25 to the 27-yard line. Third down at 4. Fisi handoff, but he is stacked up right in the middle of the line. And that was Vance Peoples, the big defensive lineman, up there to make the stop, and that will leave Northgate short of a first down. Clock continues to run. Let's see if Clayton Valley doesn't use another one of their timeouts, and they do. So Clayton calling timeout to try to keep some time on this clock. See if they can't get the ball back, another chance to score. Good ball game here from Walnut Creek. The Northgate Broncos, the host team tonight, leading it 7-6 over the Clayton Valley Eagles. A couple of teams struggling a little bit coming into tonight's play. Take a look at the standings in the Diablo Valley League. Concord at 2-0. The last couple of years been very kind to the Minutemen. That was a program some years ago that was perennially struggling, but doing well now. 5-2 overall for the Minutemen. The Falcons 3-4. They're 2-0 in league. Ignacio Valley, they're 1-6, and Mount Diablo 1-6. Northgate at 2-5 overall. Clayton Valley at 4-3 overall. Clayton Valley looking for their first league win. All right, going to call it 4th down and 2 as the Broncos operate from their own 25-yard line. Need to get just beyond the 27 for a first down. So call it a long 2. Shane Ryan under center. A tight veer formation. Wide receiver split to the far side, and now Tavaki going to go in motion. And apparently they were just trying to draw Clayton Valley offside because now Northgate calls timeout. They'll send out their punting unit. So the Broncos, a holding penalty on this drive. They started from their own 17, following a Clayton Valley punt. And they had that holding penalty in the backfield. It cost them 10 yards. They come up just a couple of yards short of a first down here, and they're going to have to kick it away. So I believe Clayton Valley, they have one timeout left. And right now the clock's showing 1:29, so we'll see what kind of return they can get. But, boy, if you're about 40, 45 yards away, Eddie Warren's got a chance to make a field goal. I talked to Hurt Pardee earlier in the week, and he says, well, he kicks off, and that ball travels 60 yards sometimes, and not afraid to try one from 50 yards possibly. All right, the Broncos lining up the punt, and Clayton Valley dropping back to receive. Here's the kick, angling for the sideline, and this one is going to bounce by Gross, and it's going to bounce at the 48-yard line and go out of bounds. They're going to mark this one at the 49-yard line of Clayton Valley. So Clayton Valley takes over at the 49 following the punt with 1:23 to go, and they do have one timeout, so time enough to start a drive here for the Clayton Valley Eagles. The old Monday Night Football theme being played by the band. Here's Mateo Gomez, fakes to the right side, back, and now under pressure. Nice move by Mateo, but he fumbles the football as he's stripped, and it's recovered by Northgate. Oh, let's see who made that play. What a play by the Northgate defense. Let's take another look at that play. I'm thinking that was number 34, Emmett Cavert. Tough to see in that crowd. Well, it's going to be all the way down to the 36-yard line, so the Northgate Broncos come up with a big sack, forced fumble, and a fumble recovery. So here are the Broncos now. They have one timeout of their own in 1:18. Ryan back, throws, he's got a man, it's intercepted! Intercepted by Clayton Valley, right back at you, say the Eagles. And that was Joe Prothrow for CV making the big play. So after getting the sack, forced fumble, and the fumble recovery, the Eagles get it right back on the Prothrow interception. And let's take a look at Prothrow's great play. So now 1:13, but pushed much farther back for Gomez and company. Now down to their 22-yard line, and the possession's coming fast and furious here. Hand off, they go up the middle, big play. Cuts it to the outside, 40, 35. Cuts it back to the inside, 40. Down inside the 30, flags fly, but a huge play for Clayton Valley, and this is going to come way at the end of the run. What a play for Clayton Valley. We're going to get the flag here. But from their own 23-yard line, they're going to be way into Northgate territory, but then called for holding here at the end of the play. So it's a big gain nonetheless. They're going to mark this off against Clayton Valley. Marked off from the spot of the foul, and they had spotted that ball at about the 26. And now they're going to mark it down at the 37-yard line. So the Eagles do have a first down there, timeout, stop clock rather, following the penalty. Got better than 35 yards on that carry. Would have been more had it not been for the penalty. But the Eagles in business here with 1:03. Gomez back, looking, throwing here for the near side of the corner route, and it's going to be incomplete. So Gomez going for the big play. Brandon Lee was on the coverage, and Joe Prothero was the intended receiver that time. On that fade route, and Prothero was open. The ball just a little bit overthrown. So Mateo showing the good arm, a little too strong that time. 57 seconds to go here in the half. Second down and 10 for Clayton Valley, operating from the Northgate 37-yard line. So a lot of fireworks here in this ball game in the last couple of minutes here in particular. Here's Gomez back to pass, under some pressure now. Forced to his right, throws for the end zone, looking for a man who's going to be tipped and nearly caught. Oh, it looked like he was looking for Kelly Dominguez in the end zone. And the Northgate defender was back there to break it up. Nicely done by the Northgate defense. And that ball hung up there long enough it looked like Dominguez was going to have a chance to make a catch. And let's take a look at that last pass. That leaves 49 seconds to go here in the ball game. I mean, in the half, excuse me. Just the first half, pardon me, folks. 49 seconds to go here in the first half. Offset eye in the backfield. Now the up back going to go in motion. Gomez going to hand off. Looks like they're going to play for the field goal. And Prothero is going to be stopped for a short gain, if any. And that is going to bring up fourth down. So that will be fourth down. They're going to lose a couple of yards back to the 39-yard line. This will be way over 50 yards here in the field goal. 57 yards from here is way too long, even for the great leg of Eddie Juarez. So it'll be a punting situation for Clayton Valley. All right, Clayton to kick. And there it is. Northgate going to let this one roll. Is this one going to actually reach the end zone before Clayton can get it? It looks like they are going to down it at about the 1-yard line. They are. Great play by the Clayton Valley special teams. And even with just 31 seconds to go here, Clayton does. The clock shows one timeout remaining for Clayton Valley. And now the Broncos got to make sure they don't get caught for a safety here. So even with just a few seconds left, showing 31 seconds, the Broncos are going to have to move it out off the goal line here to prevent the 2 points. So the special teams by Clayton Valley with the kickoffs and the field goals by Juarez. And now this punt that rolls all the way down and is down inside the 1 or just about the 1-yard line by Clayton Valley. The special teams have played great so far tonight for the Eagles. All right, you'd figure you'd see the quarterback sneak here by Ryan. They used that fairly effectively earlier, and they use it again here. Kind of just surge forward. And Shane Ryan picks up a couple of yards, and that's going to take us down inside 20 seconds. Is Clayton Valley going to stop it? Let's see. Whistle stop it, and they do. They will use their last timeout. So timeout Clayton Valley with 19 seconds to go here in the half. 5-yard touchdown run by the Broncos. And a couple of Eddie Juarez field goals, and that's where we stand. Broncos 7, Clayton Valley 6. So Herc Pardee, head coach of the Clayton Valley Eagles, calling timeout. Has been the head coach here at Clayton Valley since 1996. Last year they went to the NCS, nothing new for the Eagles. They were 5-5 overall. They beat Windsor in the first round and then lost to Rancho Cotati to finish their year. And Clayton Valley, a lot of success under the Pardee administration. And they've sent some players up to the some big colleges, and also one to the Oakland Raiders. Sam Williams out of Fresno State just completed a 9-year career with the Oakland Raiders. And a number of players have gone on to play Division I college football. And it's going to be a kneel down, and that will kill it. Last several seconds will tick away here, and the first half comes to an end. So Clayton Valley taking over. Clayton Valley with a couple of field goals. Northgate taking over after an attempted onside kick. They took it down 51 yards for a touchdown, and that is good enough for the lead. So at the end of one half of play here from Walnut Creek, it's the Northgate Broncos 7 and the Clayton Valley Eagles 6.